Hello, it is Social Media Saturday, April 2nd, 2020. A couple of things. First of all, remembering my mom, who passed away 5 years and 3 days ago today, would have been her 87th birthday. So happy birthday to my mom. Second of all, does anybody know how this, excuse me, I got stuff floating around on here, how this Facebook Live video thing is not working properly on my iPhone normally? I mean, if you look and you see behind me here, you'll see that the books are, the writing is facing backwards, which is the default mode of a iPhone Facebook Live video, but I always just click a few buttons every single time before I start it, and it switches it around to facing forwards. I made a video about this, one of my daily Facebook Live videos, a couple of years ago now, or at least a year ago. But suddenly today, for the first time ever, when I flipped it around to be facing the right way, the whole thing turned green. And I just spent or wasted, or spent or invested or wasted, or whatever you want to call it, the past over an hour looking all over the place. Couldn't find anything about how to fix that or stop that from happening. Restarted the phone a bunch of times. If anyone knows why that's happening, and more importantly, I don't really care why it's happening, but how to stop it from happening, please let me know. Anyway, you can email me, steve@stevesipress.com, or put a comment below wherever you're watching this, reading it, listening to it anyway. So today, you might notice that the title of this video is almost identical to the title of my last Social Media Saturday video 1 week ago today, where the title was, I believe, Facebook flexes its considerable muscle. I said, be careful of the downside of using the world's most powerful social media site for business. And today, I'm talking about how YouTube flexes its considerable power, I think I said, and I'm not able to read the title or subtitle here once I start the video, and to beware of the downside of using the world's most powerful video platform. You might have heard earlier this week, YouTube decided to take down what had been a viral video, which had gotten, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of views. And it was a couple of practicing in the trenches medical doctors in California who were seeing patients and cited a whole bunch of statistics and their conclusions and their opinions based on their many years of serving many patients and being in the trenches right now with this whole overblown coronavirus pandemic that's going on. And they were like, hey, it's all overblown. Here are the facts and the figures to prove that you've been led astray to think this is some once-in-a-lifetime thing, that we have to destroy the whole world's economy and all the lives and the life savings and all the health problems and mental health and physical abuse problems that are coming along with it. I mean, this lockdown, this supposed, quote, cure, is going to prove in the long run to be many, 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 many times more dangerous and deadly than the virus ever could have been. And basically they said that, although not like a layman, like I said it, they say it in purely medical terms with plenty of stats and facts and figures to back it up. And like I said, it went viral, and I don't know how long it was on for, but I got tons of views and hits, and they were interviewed all over TV. And all kinds of TV stations showed parts of the clips and whatever. Then suddenly YouTube decided, hey, we're taking that down. And I had to write this down because they cited as their reason, first of all, of course, they don't provide a reason, but someone in the media was pressing them, probably a lot of people, and they finally responded. Because, viral video, hundreds of thousands or millions of views or whatever, and all that attention, and you get a response. When a video is taken down or an ad is taken down that you or I put up, never going to get an answer. It's just going to say, here's our rules, and link you to a 50-page long website full of small print, and you figure it out yourself, or basically you can't figure it out. They just do it at their whim. For Facebook, that was last week's video, and today, this was their official reason, quote, it is contrary to what most members of the medical community are saying about COVID-19, unquote. That's why they took it down, because the information these two doctors were sharing is contrary to what most, I can't even keep a straight face saying such total BS. They took it down because the facts and figures and opinions based on all kinds of current experience dealing with this, happens to be contrary to what most members of the medical community are saying about COVID-19, so they took it down. Well, under that conclusion, it's a good thing Columbus didn't come on YouTube back in 1492, because if most of the world thought the world was flat, I guess he wouldn't have been allowed to discover the New World or sail across the Atlantic, or whatever you want to call it. And going back even further, you got Copernicus, who, most people have a faulty belief that he was burned at the stake. He was not. The publication of his belief that the Earth was not the center of the universe did not cause him to get burned at the stake, because that was published the year that he died of natural causes. But one of his compatriots, whatever you want to call it, another scientist from his day, who was famous for sharing that belief. I don't know, Bruno, I remember. He was burned at the stake. And so most people think it was Copernicus because he came up with it first. But this Bruno guy burned at the stake because, most people, all the governments, all the religious leaders, all the real powerful people believed that it's blasphemous to say the Earth is not the center of the universe. Of course it is. What do you mean the Earth revolves around the sun? That's ridiculous. Burned this guy Bruno, I believe was his name, at the stake. So YouTube, of course, would have taken down any video by Copernicus with the blasphemous, contrary to what most members of the community would be saying about the Earth and the sun. Most of the scientific community, I guess, would have been back then. They would have taken that down. And on and on. I mean, the Wright brothers would never fly a plane. Einstein would never come up with a theory of relativity. Edison would never invent a light bulb. Steve Jobs would never have revolutionized the computer and music industry with an iPod or an iPad or an iPhone or an anything. And Jeff Bezos never could have sold books online. That was contrary to the thinking of most people in the book-selling community. I mean, oh my goodness, YouTube, gotta be ashamed of yourself. And once I finish recording this, where I do every day for the past over 3 years, on my one of my Facebook business pages, facebook.com/smallbizhelp, B-I-Z, where you can watch me and come on live. And I see Olivia's here. Great seeing you, Olivia. Got some updates for you, by the way. Get a hold of me. Good news for you. And a bunch of people already went by that I missed, but thanks for all the likes and shares and for being here and all that. But I will post, my team will take the recording of this and post it up onto YouTube. So here you go, YouTube. This will be on your page, me pitying. It's really sadder than just laughing at you for your ridiculous conclusion that if doctors say something, they share facts and figures that are contrary to what most members of the medical community are saying about COVID-19, then you remove the video. Wow. Book burning 2020 version. So, if you depend for your business on putting up videos on YouTube, sure, it's powerful, but just understand the downside is they can do anything they want. There's no First Amendment. They're not a government entity. And in fact, they were taken to court a few years ago, and court ruled no. There's no First Amendment, doesn't apply to YouTube. It's private. They're not the public square. They are not akin to someone standing on a soapbox in the public square and saying whatever they want to say, as long as it doesn't, present a clear and present danger and incite violence, like falsely yelling fire in a crowded theater. And by the way, you'll hear almost everybody, including some lawyers, mistakenly say that the Supreme Court ruled you can't shout fire in a crowded theater. How ridiculous would that be? Of course you could shout fire in a crowded theater if there's a fire in the theater. It's a good thing you can shout, hey, fire, and save the lives of hundreds of people. What the ruling is, you can't falsely shout fire in a crowded theater. And so YouTube has none of that concern about free speech and only if it's dangerous. I mean, they just make some cockamamie, what they said was just different than other people, so we're just taking it down? Taking it down. Even though these two doctors, of course, were correct, but since what they say is different than what most people said, then, I guess YouTube also thinks Columbus was going to sail off the side of the world because the Earth was flat. And that the Earth was the center of the universe, according to YouTube. If it was around in those days, I guess that's what it would believe. And therefore, Copernicus, shut up. Columbus, we don't want to hear from you. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, any other inventor, pioneer, YouTube doesn't want to hear from you. If you don't go along with the crowd, they're going to take down your stuff. So, if you're watching this, enjoy it. Might not be up for long, and that'll do it for Social Media Saturday. Have fun with YouTube, but beware, they're the 800-pound, million-pound gorilla in the world, and they can say and do anything they want. So remember, 1 is the loneliest number and the worst number in business. Don't depend on one source for your content, for your traffic, for your advertising, for your marketing, for your messaging, for anything. Especially if it's a YouTube or a Facebook or anything like that, because they can flex their considerable muscle and crush you like the bug that you are on the back of their butt. That'll do it for Social Media Saturday. I'll check in tomorrow, as always, on Sunday Funday, and I'll catch you back here for more business building tips on Direct Mail Monday. Over and out. Bye-bye.